Hey guys, welcome to another episode in the deep playthrough of Gran Turismo 4. Almost at 80%, on the road to 100%. We are mopping up the European one-make races. Only Germany, France and Italy left to do. Germany almost done. We will be doing the BMW one-make races in this episode. And then in the next one race that I actually am a little bit anxious about. It's the Opel Speedster Cup or trophy, which I read about, and it's apparently one of the most difficult, challenging events in the game. But let's cross that bridge once we get there. We are now having to do two BMW one-make races. The 1 Series trophy, I bought the car at the ending of the previous episodes. Decided to go with the gasoline variant instead of the diesel one, the petrol variant, although it has a little bit less horsepower and quite significant amount of less torque, but yeah, somehow I'm not really a diesel fan unless you have like a cargo truck or something, but for regular cars I prefer petrol, so let's see if it holds up. So that is first on the agenda, and then the Club M afterwards, but we will check that out after first completing this one. And this should be a very short event. It's only one lap, this one, and it are only 3 races and not in not linked together in a championship series. So if we screw up, we can just start over. I'm only a little bit worried with having less power and only 1 lap to catch up from 6th to 1st. That could be a bit little time to get to 1st place, but we will see. So it's basically evenly divided between the petrol and actually more 4 petrols, 2 diesels, but we will see how it goes. Right, the white car really gets away. Fuck me. Alright, I do think the AI is quite slow through this S section over here. At least in other races it was. God damn it again. I'm losing my extra speed by stupidly bumping into the backside of that car. If I wouldn't have, and I would not have missed my braking point over there in that hairpin, I think I actually have a pretty decent chance of finishing first here. But I'm just driving really bad. But it may still be enough, I'm not sure. He does seem to accelerate a bit quicker. But here we go. Fuck me, I'm just helping him out with a slight nudge. Here we go. Fuck me, man. Did I screw it up? Alright, I just have to cover the inside of the corners. They mostly only overtake from the inside, not the outside. We should be good. Nice. There we go. I think this whole event, as mentioned in the previous episode when buying the car, it could very well be just be a promotional event. The car is quite detailed, the sound is not too bad, and these cars came out, I think, at the same time or maybe a year before the game released. So it could very well be a marketing strategy as well to have this event. It's like a little bite-sized event that people can do, and then just maybe it could affect their real-life decision when buying a car. Alright, I'm not sure how many laps this one was supposed to be. 1 or 2. Right, my main thing is when trying to overtake cars, not to bump them in the rear. Too much braking. Right, that didn't went that bad. This one went pretty bad, that corner. I overshot it. And over here, the AI is often quite slow. So we have a better exit. A little bit of slipstreaming, and now the thing is not to overshoot this corner. I overbraked. Do we have enough to catch him if it is only 1 lap? Often they're quite slow through here. So here we go. Better exit through the from the S's. Alright, too much braking over there, but we're still in first place. Here we go. Oh shit, it's 2 laps. Really was expecting 1 lap. Well, way too much braking on my side. Man, it slows, it climbs up into the revs really quite slowly. And there we go. Sorry, no time for the replay. Wouldn't have been that exhilarating anyways, but I'm really focused on making some progress. And also trying to get to that Opel Speedster trophy, because I'm actually quite curious how hard that will be. Apparently the competitor cars are all on racing soft and fully tuned in that Opel trophy. I don't want to just max out the tune on my car and win that way. I want to try and win it with as little tune as possible. Alright, this is the short course of Twin Ring Motegi, 2 laps. So this is really a nice bite-sized event, reinforcing my idea that it is maybe more of a marketing event than anything else, which I do find totally valid setup. I mean, it's win-win. It's fun for the gamers to be able to experience real-life road cars. And if it helps selling cars, why not? I like this much better. And maybe it's not even the case. Maybe this is just Polyphony Digital thinking this is a nice race to set up. I cannot really imagine why, because it's not the most interesting fields, but anyways, even if it would be partly because of commercial reasons that they set this race up the way it is, with only 1 series, then I still like it a heck of a lot better than the Vision GT concept, where indeed which indeed is not really, or linked to real life automobiles and business growth, but which is linked to the extent that it gives real life car designers freedom to express their ideas in game and maybe gauge the public interest that way into their designs. But I totally find it 100% uninteresting, the Vision GT cars. You can just as well buy a sci-fi game and drive futuristic vehicles that way, instead of what is supposed to be the real driving simulator. There's, in my view, a lot of wasted resources directed, or a lot of resources are wasted because of time, money, and developer capacity being directed towards the Vision GT cars, instead of increasing the amount of actual interesting real life cars. But yeah, maybe it's also just a way to keep the relationships with the car manufacturers well between PD and the actual car brands. I don't know, which indirectly can have some benefits for the gamers with licensing, etc. I don't know. But disregarding that, Vision GT in general, not my thing at all. And I already started a little bit with it in GT4 in this game, with the amount of concept cars that are in there. Concept cars also really don't do anything for me. Alright, I will skip the replay, or no, I will just watch one lap, just like I did before when finishing a championship. Also just to see how much detail was put into these models, because if it is indeed a commercial collaboration between BMW and PD to put this event in, then probably there's quite some effort gone into the car to make them look as good as possible. And honestly, I do think that is the case. They are much less jaggy than other cars that I saw in the roster. Like in the previous episode or the episode before that, there was one car, I forgot which one, but it had crazy alias or blocky window sills. And that is in this car much less. These actually look quite realistic. It's a shame that I really don't like the design of the car itself. So they will not win me over with this event. Also the color tones, they are quite, the paint colors, they're quite realistic, I would say, from what I've seen in real life with these 1 series. It's champagne color. Normally I really don't like brownish champagne kind of colors. On this car it looks actually quite nice, that third place car. Right, and there we go, downhill and towards the ending of the replay watching. Let's see what we will get as a car. Hopefully an M car that we can use in the next event. That would be nice. 2002 Turbo 73, pretty epic car. For sure, we won quite some nice cars recently. Older cars like the old Beetle, the Carmen Ghia, the BMW 2002 from these one-make races. But it will be cars that I probably will not be using in any genuine events because they're just too slow. So I should not forget to maybe reserve one episode to just check out those reward cars on the testing grounds. Alright, so now we are going to go with Club M. And I do think I have an M car in my garage, which is nice because I don't have that much money. I need to be a little bit aware of money because we do still have to buy quite some cars for these one-make races to be able to proceed. And we don't win that much money from the one-make races, and nor do the reward cars generate that much money. For example, in the Mercedes, I think SL event, we won the 300 SL Gullwing Mercedes. I still have a hard time pronouncing Mercedes. In English, but anyways, you would expect that car to be worth at least 500k credits or 1,000,000 credits. It's a super rare, desirable classic, and you can only sell it in-game for 50k credits, so that's basically nothing. You cannot even buy probably a BMW for 50k credits in a 1 series, or maybe a 1 series, but for sure not a an M3 or something. So that is, the pricing is a little bit weird. So I have to just keep an eye on my purse. But for now, let's hope that we have a M series car in the garage. Man, this whole menu thing is again, the cursor is so inconsistent. Alright, we have an M coupe. Oh shit, I sold my M3. Alright, but let's just try the M coupe. Although I don't really like the car. I know a lot of people love them. I have a very fanatic following, but yeah, to me, I would spend my money elsewhere. Pretty sure we will not be competitive. But we can try. Oh shit, pole position is an M3 GTR. That will never work. This car actually has quite cool sound. Cannot deny that. Man, it really has that M raspiness. Was not expecting that. This car to have such a cool sound. My bad. But I may accidentally win this race, but probably not. But then probably in other tracks I will never win, because that GTR is way too quick. Right, how many laps? 2 laps only. God damn it. God damn it. Way too much braking. Losing all my momentum. Holy shit! Was not expecting that. Oh, sorry. I'm literally pushing him off track. Was not expecting that M5 to be that quick. God damn it. Holy shit. That car is crazy quick. Right, this car really is not cutting it that well. Maybe if I would drive perfectly, you can win it. Alright, let's get another car. I am a little bit worried about the budget. Amount of money in the purse. Which is dwindling pretty quickly. But yeah, we also need to win the race. So we could do an M3 74 CSL, a little bit more powerful. The GTR, this is the car that we will win from this event. And then we have the M5. It's a lot more expensive than the M3. I'm going for the M5. Feels a bit like cheating, but again, we also have the Opel Cup coming up. We have a lot of hard races coming up. And the problem is I could now also go for the CSL. But yeah, it's basically the same price. And if this car is not competitive, then what do you do? Then I really have a problem. Although I would really like to have this car in the garage as well. Yeah, I'm gonna take a chance. Here we go. It's a good chance that I will not be competitive, but yeah, then maybe I will just have to start qualifying for the races. It's a championship, so we do have qualification option. And the main thing is, I guess, that the GTR will not be in pole position. If it is like in 3rd or 4th place, then it's fine. It will be held up a bit. Yeah, like now. It is in 3rd position, so hopefully it will be held up by the first 2 cars, allowing us some time to catch up and get in front, and then drive defensive from then on. Right, seems we're holding up much better. And actually the sound of the M Coupe I found better. This one is much more tame, which you would not maybe expect from the regular M3, but not from the CSL with the carbon intake. And the problem is that the GTR is already in front. But here we go. We're gonna give it a run for its money. Alright, so we are competitive. That's nice. Cannot really spin the rear out, which you would expect in a powerful rear wheel drive BMW. Fuck me. This car is much easier to unsettle over that hill over there. It's a pity that this car doesn't have a more epic sound. It is less raspy than the M Coupe in my view. And I don't really have money to just randomly try out some other BMWs. I cannot even do that, by the way, because it's a championship race. Cannot switch cars in between races. Way too much braking. And now let's keep the car in control on top of the hill here. Maybe a little bit too much control, too slow. Man, this car even has understeer when you don't want it. Alright, done. 4 more to go before we land at the Opel Speedster Cup. Pretty funny how that Z3 is battling the M5 and these two as well. Alright, the M5 is also pretty much unleashed, god damn it. It's bumping me from behind constantly. Where is the, nice. The M5 really got behind. Lag behind. Here we go. Oh shit, 3 laps. Too much braking, or whatever. Not sure why I went back to second gear there. This is actually a pretty doable event. Such a pity that the car really doesn't handle the way I would expect it to. If you, in like a hairpin like just now, second gear, if you floor the throttle and apply a lot of steering inputs, the rear just doesn't come out, and it doesn't feel natural for a BMW. I would really expect, especially without driving assists, that you should be able to swing the rear around, induce oversteer, and with that help point the car in the right direction. Way too much braking there. I still don't have these S's down really. Screwing up this corner. But it's good enough. Here, I'm now doing full throttle, very sharp steering input to the right, and the rear of the car, it just stays glued onto the roads. Well, you could say maybe it's a limitation in the physics engine not being able to model that oversteer behavior, but that's not true, because the AC Cobra does exactly that. Mid-corner you can apply throttle and steering inputs, and you can have the rear of the car swing out in a very controlled manner. So it's a little bit of an enigma to me why they would not do that for a car like this. Maybe again BMW just wants these cars to feel totally safe and in control, but then also boring in game. I don't know. They don't want it to feel like super twitchy, oversteery, accidents waiting to happen kind of cars. because that could hurt their sales maybe, I don't know. My bad, sorry for that. Man, why are they braking so much? Killing all the momentum. Oops, braking too late. Alright, I will leave him. Let him go back in front. I actually bumped him wide. Now he's bumping me. Now the car actually does feel a little bit oversteery. Still, in corners like this, really hard to get the rear to step out. Not sure why I stepped on the brake there, that was stupid. Steering in too late in that right-hander, this right-hander, which is pretty bad because there is like small straight after it where you want to keep the speed high. Fuck me. If you don't commit to a corner and you correct mid-corner, then a good chance in this narrow circuit that you go wide and hit the barrier. Alright, we're basically driving against the clock now. Alright, this corner is where I'm often, fuck me, now I'm overdoing it. I'm braking too much, steering in too late, not committed enough. Alright, what do we have? Apparently it was still fastest lap, 1:31.7. Let's see if we can improve on that. Fuck me, man. Fuck me. Miscalculated the braking point there. So, good chance I will actually not be improving the time. Too many little mistakes. Although this went pretty okay, and now... Nope. I want to hug that inside right curbing, and I always fail to do so. Alright, 1:29.5, so we did improve by 2 seconds. Right, Suzuka circuits, 2 laps. Here we go. Right, not ideal the S's, not ideally taken or optimally taken, but we are in first. Yes, nice, that's M3, that's the M3 way to go through the corners sideways. Not intended at all. And again, I'm flooring the throttle and the rear does not step out. Too late on the brake. I didn't even need to brake there, only lifting off would have sufficed. Probably should have kept it in second there for longer. Should have just kept it in third there. Right, now let's brake a bit earlier than the previous run. It's quite a bit tricky because my reference point is a piece of tarmac to the right. I always mostly brake at that piece of tarmac, and if you have to brake before it, if you don't see it yet. Right, let's see. Yeah, I was afraid of that. That would actually go wide if you don't brake a little bit. I'm not sure. Shit. I had to keep it in second there. Not sure whether this will be a faster lap. Screwing up that final corner. That fast left-hander. Yes, it was faster. 2:17. Obviously it would have been faster because that first lap was from a standstill, so I was carrying way less speed across the straight in the first attempt. Alright, I think 2 more races to go. Holy shit, Nürburgring. Not expecting that one, but pretty epic. In a BMW M3 CSL E46 on the Nürburgring. Doesn't get much better than that, I would say. Alright, this will be a pretty epic run. At least for the setup. What I said, CSL, the Nürburgring. It's like a fish in the water. Actually not really keeping up that well. But it's a long race. Let's keep it composed. I'm only a little bit worried. Fuck me. The car bumped me onto the grass. I'm a little bit worried about the red car. And again, these AIs, they're just crazy. Bumping me all over the place. What's up with that red car? He's crazy fast suddenly. Alright, here we come. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. Way too much braking on my side. Now the car did seem to slide a bit with the rear ends. Alright, we got them from, I think, something of a 4-second gap to a 2-second gap. And that's good. I do have to be mindful of the car. Last time I drove the Nürburgring was in the Lupo Cup. Or maybe the Beetle Cup, I don't remember, but It was a totally different experience where I hardly have had to brake at all because the cars were slower and had quite a lot of grip. And in this car, it's obviously different, more power, more tendency to unsettle the car, higher speeds. I have to be careful not to accidentally overdo it. But here we are, first place. It's a pity that this is not the last race of the series, because this is really a race that I would like to at least partially watch the replay, just because of the car track combination. Maybe we can watch a bit of replay. Normally I'm watching the replay in these championship races only of the last race in the events, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that this is the 4th out of 5 races only, which I don't understand. Why didn't they put this epic Nürburgring race as the last race in the championship? I think it would deserve that spot. Too much braking on my side over there. Much braking. I do have to say, this car, it feels... I've never driven one in real life, but it feels a little bit too glued to the road. I would have expected a little bit more lively behavior. Probably too much braking from my side. Here we go. Let's see how fast it goes. think that would be pretty accurate. Oh shit. 270. I think that CSL was unlimited with most of the German cars at the time, and maybe even still. VMAX limited at 250 km/h. I think maybe for the CSL that limiter was removed, and it should indeed do something like 270, 280. And the game seemed to model that quite accurately. Let's quickly watch a couple of epic replay shots of fast BMWs on the Nürburgring. Here, it seems like let's see if the radiator in the spoiler or the grill in the spoiler, yeah, that's the same. I thought maybe that it would be so accurately modeled that actually the M3 had like an oil cooler radiator or something behind the front spoiler, which the regular M3 maybe did not have. So I checked out the red car in front, which I think is a regular M3, but it had the same texture behind the grill in the front spoiler. So I'm just making stuff up in my mind. Right, we're following the wrong car. Where are we? I think this is us. No. This is us. Epic, absolutely epic shots. Amazing. It's really like watching these replays, it's like a time machine going back like 20 years, remembering how in awe I was at the time and how happy I was that I was finally playing it. Ah, this was the final race in the championship. I miscounted. So that's indeed, I would have done it exactly the same. Nürburgring with these BMW M cars and then the final race. Let's see, probably we will win that GTR, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, nice. Front bumper I like, and also the rear bumper I don't really like it, but this car is just so rare and special that obviously if you have the choice you immediately go with this one. I think it also has a V8 engine instead of a V6. Amazing car. Or yeah, amazingly special car. Alright, but that brings us now to the actual last event for the German branch, and the hardest, one of the hardest events in the game. We already read the descriptions, but let's read it one more time just to refresh my memory. German automaker Opel built its first automobile in 1899 and almost immediately began competing aggressively in Grand Prix racing and other motorsports events. It even built a rocket-powered speed record car. The company grew quickly after launching a series of cars priced for the masses in the 1920s and was built by GM in the late 1920s. The Opel division suffered during World War II, but later recovered to produce such popular models as the Ascona and the Kadett. Opel continues to play a central role in GM's European strategy. Holy shit, I was not aware that Opel was already built by General Motors in the 1920s. Can you imagine? They were even already consolidating car manufacturers back in the day. It was bought by GM in the late 1920s. Holy shit. Anyways, this is the, I think the rough, I'm pretty sure they don't have one make events, so Opel is the last one. And I've read that it's the hardest one of the hardest races in the game. Apparently the turbo has more power, but what people said is you should buy the regular one and then tune it, because then it will have better corner handling ability and it will actually have more power. The naturally aspirated Speedster fully tuned is quicker than the Speedster Turbo fully tuned. Alright, Speedster Trophy, a one-make race featuring this German mid-engined roadster with the individual futuristic styling. Alright, but actually I will not pay too much mind to that forum post I read. I will just do it how I would have done it myself. If I would not, if I would have gone in blind. So what would I have done? We have the Corsa, we have the Speedster 2000, 144, and the Turbo 197. Yeah, I would have gone with the Turbo. It's like 53 horsepower more, so like 30% horsepower more, only for 500 5,000 wait, that's a tricky sum. So we go to 5,000 and it was 690, so that is how much more than 550? 140, 500 minus 140 is 360. I think it's 5,360 credits more, but yeah, that's a little bit money, but it's only basically 10% higher price. A little bit more, but for like 30% more power. So I would have gone with the turbo. Man, I really don't like the design of this car. But ugly. Compared to the Lotus Elise, for example. Also, the colors are not really my thing. Alright, so the moment has arrived. For the next episode, we have to do the Opel Speedster Trophy. I'm just curious. I said Lotus Elise, but what? There was that model after it. Didn't have another name. Elise, Elise. Oh, they were all Elises. Right. I was thinking maybe that these more newer ones had a different name of the little sports cars. Yeah, but didn't it have? 1 second. I'm just looking it up. A Lotus Wiki. Alright, the Evija, the Emira. Holy shit, the Electra. There will be a high performance SUV from Lotus. Crazy. You have the Elise. Ah, no, I don't. I think it really was only the Elise. This little sports car. And apparently the Speedster, Opel Speedster, is based on the Elise. Anywho, that is it for this episode. Guys, in the next episode it will probably be a lot of frustration management. Trying to win the Elise trophy. But yeah, we will just have to wait and see. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope to see you there. For the meantime, don't forget, always do keep on gaming. Selector.